Been a while since we've been able to talk to you, but we've been talking to players obviously the last few weeks, and they had just the linemen. They've been just kind of saying we're not really happy with the way we had been playing. But after last week, after the TCU game, do you feel like you guys have taken some significant steps forward there?
Well, I just think that we're playing more consistent, and it's kind of a word that I've been using since I've gotten here. And when you look at us as a successful unit up front, that's the one word you're going to come to. It's you can't say, "Oh boy, we were close on this play," or "Boy, look, we're one block away on this particular play from making a 5-yard gain into a 15-yard gain, being more explosive." So that's still something that we're striving to do is be consistent for 4 quarters.
We saw some different formations or some different actions out of you guys, and I guess the one that has really kind of picked up some steam on social media and things is the kind of like a fake pull and then come back. Is that something you guys have been holding for a while, or is that just something you finally got around to putting in?
I'll be honest, I really don't talk too much about schemes. Yeah.
I'm curious, Josh and Josh Rivas and then Evan Curl have rotated some. How have they handled that, that duo there? And you'd like to do that at more spots if possible?
Yeah, I'd love to do that at more spots, and I think they've handled it extremely well. I know each of them and we have a plan going into each game every Saturday, but each of them have handled it really well. I don't think that anybody loves getting pulled out of the mix in the heat of the battle, but they understand it. They communicate extremely well. I can remember a few times of, when we break it up and I say, "Hey, Rivas, you're going in," or "Hey, Curl, you're going in this next series." They grab one another and they communicate the things that they're seeing.
Yeah, I know he's not your guy necessarily at your position, but what kind of help is Logan Long in the running game blocking as a tight end for you guys?
Yeah, Logan's done a real nice job, and he brings some physicality to the position. You guys have seen we want to be multiple with our formations and with our personnel settings. So the more that we can get those tight ends involved, the more it helps out. So he's continued to take strides. Really, really appreciate the young man and the strides that he is taking. And he knows it. He can play so much better. He can play so much faster. And guys, this is what this is. This is a process. It's crazy. We've been here, 9, I guess now 10 months, and everybody's learning every single day. Everybody's looking to get a little bit better.
How impressed have you been just with the ability for you guys to hang in there when you went through the rough stretch where it was a month between winning football games and come out and do what they're doing right now?
Well, it's a thing that we talk about every single day, and that's mental toughness. And I explain to them that mental toughness is very easily defined in my eyes, and that's an ability to overcome adversity. And there's been times I've told them that we need to be tougher mentally when things may not go our way. We need to obviously learn from a mistake, but not allow a previous play to beat us twice, or as people would say, a previous opponent to beat us twice. So I've been pleased with the strides that we've made. We're still not there because there's going to be more adversity. We have a lot of football left to play. We're excited about this weekend, but how do you respond? And that's where I think we've taken strides with the senior group. That's what I'd expect to see.
What stands out about KU's defensive line from what you've been able to digest on film so far?
Yeah, they're long. They play physical. They play really well with their hands. They're fast to their fits. Obviously, they are extremely well coached. So, you kind of go across the board, and they got some pretty heavy guys in there that shed blocks. And so it's going to be a huge challenge of us to strain and finish blocks. And those are the things, again, to me, that make a 4-yard gain into a 8-yard gain and then gives us an opportunity to break one and be a little bit more explosive. So you see that they changed a little bit of the personnels, bring in some really long linebackers. They're pretty relentless rushing the passer because they are so long. So we got to do a great job of being in great position and great communication.
The running play last week where you had Tyler Mitchell fake a pull to the right and come back and block left that Gilbert broke for a pretty long gain. Is that a new design by you? Or
yeah, that's okay. It was a question asked earlier. I just really don't discuss schemes too much. Appreciate it.
Okay.
When you talk When you talk about when you talk about learning, I go straight to thinking, players learning the system. But how much of that is still you learning your players and what's good for them and that kind of thing?
That's a great pointing that out, because it is. We're still learning about one another. It's you got guys who've been in the program for 5 years, but I haven't been around them for 5 years. I recruited a few of them, but we didn't go through the entire recruiting process. So we're still learning a little bit about one another. And I kind of told them last week. I said, all right, now we're getting into the thick of it. You're going to learn a little bit more about me as we continue to challenge you. So, and they've responded extremely well to being challenged. So that learning curve is for sure on both ends.
Did you have much of a chance just to kind of soak everything in after winning the game on Saturday and what you guys did?
Not really. And it's kind of the world that we live in. I'm looking forward to KU, and we had some recruits. I went and graded some film back in the office, and came in Saturday morning, and guys, I'm looking to do a little bit better on our first series. That's the thing I think about, and starting fast and getting a little confidence going early, and then consistent for 4 quarters.
What was it about the last game that kind of opened things up on edge runs for you guys?
I think that and huge credit goes to running backs, huge credit goes to fullbacks, huge credit goes to wide receivers, and how aggressive they were in blocking. That's to me a big part of it. And when we have that multiplicity with the ability to run the ball inside, the ability to get out to the perimeter, that's when we're going to be most successful.